way they're talking right now, they kicked your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
We showed them Jews.
Yeah. So in the meantime,
it's not funny. I mean, people are dying for goodness sakes. However, this is like what they do.
This is what they do. They did this in the Gulf War in '91. They do this all the time. They just, they were broadcasting that they had full control over the skies of Israel. They made these fake AI videos how there was under the hospital in Beersheba that there was an army base. It's like they just it's like, if it weren't deadly, it'd be even funnier. But
it was a 12-day war. Listen, the 12-day war that we had against the other people back in June of was it?
You mean the 6-Day War? The 6-Day War.
67? Yeah, it was 1967. 6-Day War. Yeah, I mean, that was a miracle. This is huge.
Look, we are a country of 7.5 million Jews, 10 million people, and we were fighting a country with 90 million people, 1,000 miles away.
Yeah,
whatever it is exactly.
Not a shared. You don't have a shared border with them either.
No, their country is 70 times larger than ours, and we spanked them. It's like, and they have oil revenues, and they did nothing. They fired some rockets, and that's all they could do. Their Air Force did nothing. There was nothing they could do against our fighters, our pilots, and believe me, if they thought they were winning, there's no way they would have agreed to a ceasefire. It's
so as I predicted. Now there's going to be a big announcement from Jerusalem Post. I don't know what it is. Do you know yet, or is it already been said? Is that about the ceasefire or what?
Well, I mean, they're talking about Syria joining the Abraham Accords.
Oh, okay. That's I predicted that last week on the show. I said, what's going to happen here? It looks to me like at the end of this is going to be it's going to be mind-boggling. It's going to change the whole world. Forget the Middle East for a moment. It's going to change the entire world. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, you're not wrong. What Netanyahu has been doing since October 7th has literally changed the face of the Middle East. And from Lebanon to Syria to Iran to Hezbollah, Hamas. I mean, it's really literally changing the face of the Middle East and changing the future of this region. I think it's Saudi Arabia, I think, is going to join also. But I think that's less of a surprise than Syria joining.
I think that might have been the cause of the war.
Yeah, it definitely was what motivated Hamas to try to prevent Saudi Arabia from joining.
You say Hamas like they did this on their own.
No, of course they're sponsored by Iran, and I can tell you that there are many Arab nations, from the 50 Arab nations, 53 Arab nations, were quietly cheering on Israel during this war.
Really,
wanting us.
Okay, why quietly then?
Because these are not countries that have relationships with Israel. They're not countries part of the Abraham Accords. But they are countries that do feel threatened by Iran.
Sure.
And Israel is now the big boy on the block. We are the regional power. We knocked the bully off his hill, and now Israel is the regional power.
You look at it this way, at a bully, as a bully.
Yeah, Iran's a bully, and the only thing they know is
for a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, and they don't think. Like bullies, they don't think anyone's going to confront them.
Exactly. So, they don't know what to do. They absolutely don't know what to do when it happens.
Exactly. And so Israel, I think Iran was stunned, was shocked that we came at them. And the truth is, Israel is now the regional power in the Middle East. And I think when I said these nations were quietly supporting us, because they know if we are the regional power, everyone's safer here. They know Israel's not going to attack them.
Right.
Iran is a problem because Iran is trying to bring their Messiah by creating, this Armageddon scenario, and everyone knows the Arab nations that Iran is not good for the Middle East.
Yeah.
They're the biggest supporter of terror, and now with Israel knocking them off the block, of course, the nations that support us openly are happy about it. But Germany, and even in Europe, Germany, the Chancellor of Germany said that Israel's doing the work for the world. He's totally supporting Israel openly.
Oh, you got the head of NATO calling Donald Trump daddy. Oh, you see that?
Who's your daddy?
Yeah, who's your daddy? That's what you call a paternity suit in Indiana. Who's your daddy? Yeah, you can use that one. Hey, come on! Where's my producer? Oh my God! I'll do a joke anytime. You gotta be ready.
Okay.
You gotta be ready. Well, I'll for some shekels, I'll send him down there and do your show. We'll make it even better.
Okay.
Okay. Other than in 2020, while Trump was still in office, when the UAE and Bahrain and Morocco and Sudan agreed to normalize relations with Israel, what country specifically, and I can think of a bunch of even African countries right now, Tunisia and places like that, Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Name some of the countries that might get involved with the accords.
Well, I mean, I would. There's some smaller ones, like countries like Liberia, possibly.
Where is Liberia? Is that Africa?
It's on it's a west coast of Africa, southwest.
Yeah. Nigeria?
Possibly, Israel has relationship with quite a few African countries. These are Muslim countries. Yeah, well, obviously.
How about Egypt?
Egypt, we have a peace treaty with them already. We have a border with them, and Jordan, we have a peace treaty. So, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia would be. I
Lebanon would be great if they could get themselves settled and get rid of the Hezbollah, who we just bombed again today.
You bombed them again?
Yeah, they were building some a base near the Israel's northern border. So we bombed them. But Lebanon would be great, because then we would have on all our borders, if we had Lebanon and Syria, then Jordan, we already have a peace treaty, and Egypt, we have a treaty. So if we could surround ourselves with countries like that we have good relations with, or at the very least, have some kind of treaty or an agreement, that would be epic.
So now you're coming to America, and El Al is opened for business, inside and outside, and you're going to punish the countries that shut you down?
No, well, I mean, look, it's a little frustrating for Israelis when you have airlines canceling left and right, and then it takes them months to restart.
Yeah.
Like United, for example, already said, they're not flying here all of July. That's like ridiculous. The ceasefire ended and El Al starts the next day. We're back to school.
Back to school. I heard are you going to have graduations and things?
Last night we had my son's 8th grade graduation, but my daughter, they already canceled it, and they're not going to do it. Her